Hi internet viewers, this is Frank Rauscher again. I'm doing another Q&A on the one that I just did, and that was on locating the legs for the birds we had done. I think I confused a lot of people, which is typical of me. I tried to clarify something, and I ended up checking myself. I went back to look at some of my videos, especially the cardinal. The cardinal was the one that instigated me trying to give you definite information, because somebody had said, where does the legs go on the body of the cardinal? And when I went back and I looked at the video this time, I see that I didn't give you enough information. And even on what pattern, I should have identified something down here. And from now on in, I will put it on. But for the ones that already received the patterns, I'm going to try to explain this one more time and hope that I get the message across, because it is confusing, and I made it confusing, okay? So I'm strictly talking about the cardinal now. This, as somebody says, it could be anything. Well, not really. You do have some flexibility of going forward and backward a little bit, and that's what I stated, depending on your setting and how the 1 foot may want to come forward and back because of the way you're mounting it onto a piece. That sometimes occurs, and you would maybe want to slide the points that I'm giving you. But in general, the legs attach at a certain point. This isn't for every bird. I'm just talking about the cardinal now. Like, here's a cardinal blank, and what I was trying to say, which it gets confusing. If I measure from the tip of the beak to the tail with my ruler and find the midpoint, I end up putting it put a point in profile, and that's this view. So by measuring, like I said, from the tail up to the beak, and then finding half of that distance, which will land right about in here, that's generally where the legs go in. Now, that's only giving you within the profile view. Now, here's where I probably really dropped the ball completely, is you're wondering, okay, you got it in profile, you measured from here to there, you got the midpoint, and we'll say it's here. I'm just taking a wild stab here. And it says, okay, you got it in profile, so here it is. But where is it on the belly here, where you actually attach these? Now, when we were shaping the blank, we had a center line that went right down the middle of the body, and on here you have a center line of the body, okay? And then the head is a separate center line that you build off of that one, and we build everything off of the center line. Whatever is symmetrical about that center line on either side is how we get the body going. Well, that same center line should be transferred, and when we were roughing it out, I would say we have a center line coming down here. Coming down here. This is on top. I want you to come across the top here, and then we draw the center line for the bottom. Okay, like so, and we have that center line. I'm doing a lousy job here, but I'm just eyeballing this right now. So we have a center line that if we cut this in half, we'd be right down the middle, okay, as far as the body goes, okay, not the head. So what I'm saying to you is, at the point we find the midpoint, we would come over to the center line on the belly side here, and I would put an X there, okay? Then from that X, I do a perpendicular line going across, okay? And you could do that easy just by laying your ruler on there, putting like an inch mark on there, and then go out to the right and to the left with a perpendicular line that way. And then for the cardinal, you go out a 1/2 inch over here and a 1/2 inch over there. Now, yours is going to be rounded and shaped, and we're almost done. You know, we have all the detailing in there, but where you come out a 1/2 inch, you put an X there and an X on this side, and that should be where the leg goes into the body, okay? I'm not trying to say that that is absolutely, you got to keep it there. No. And it sounded like somebody was saying I'm sort of wishy-washy about, it could be anywhere, you know. To some extent, you're right. But in general, this is where it attaches, okay? But like even us, we can move our body around to move our leg back or forward or something like that. We're usually attached though. And that's similar to the birds, but you have a little bit of flexibility. And because you're the creator too, and you don't want it so it looks like one leg's out in left field somewhere, we try to keep it close to these measurements I gave you. This is for the cardinal. Now, in my video on the cardinal on 38, part 38, this I dropped the ball. I didn't really tell you, I don't believe, that well, that once you look in the profile and get it from the beak to the tail, you find the midpoint, you go to the middle of the breast, which is what we did, and you put an X there, put a perpendicular line across, and then come out a 1/2 inch on either side from the center line out on both sides. That's what I was really trying to iron out. I went ahead. I'm always trying to give you more information than you need, and I probably confused the hell out of you because when I showed you other items, this was the sandpiper. The sandpiper, each one is different, but as I do a bird with you, I'm going to try to guide you exactly where the cardinal leg should attach, okay? I shouldn't try to handle every bird because every bird has a distance that may be a little different, okay? And it's just like I was showing you before. This is a wren blank, and the wren is not as fat as the sandpiper, so it's of course the legs are going to be in tighter compared to the sandpiper. So I'm going to try to, on the patterns, I'm going to start locating where the legs should be attached. Okay, so that would be I'm trying to make everything foolproof, but I missed the mark. Okay, and I'll be the first one to admit that. Same way with the house finch. Again, from the beak to the tail, you find where the middle is. Come down, put that, again, put that mark on the breast in the center line, and then you measure out. And in part 32 of the house finch that I did, I'm going to clarify this. Once you get that on there, I want you to go in and you go about, it's probably about from the center line in the breast area here you go out about 3/8 and 3/8 from the center out to the left and center out to the right. And that generally gets you there for that bird. If I didn't make it clear enough on the video, I'm trying to clarify it now. I don't want to say that I've got the answer for every bird. No, that's not the case. But in general, you go from the beak to the tail. In general, on most songbirds, we'll say, and stuff like that. It's a whole different ballgame with every bird, but I'm going to try to define a better way of showing you where it should be. And I apologize if I confused you. So this is another Q&A on top of the Q&A. So I hope this one clears up the last one I gave you. And I, like I said, from now on in, I'm going to try to define that measurement. Like on the finch, I'll come in here and I'll give you a measurement from the tail up to where it should attach onto the body. And then I will also try to give you within the video what's the distance on the underneath side of this from the center out, okay? And I'll try to clarify that better. I try to do the best I can, and sometimes I can get you more confused, and I understand that. I wrote back to a couple people about this, and I have a hard time. It's not, I could write a book on telling you exactly how to do things, and it gets very wordy. And I ran this across a couple people, and I realized that maybe I wasn't as clear, even in that text. So I'm figuring I'll do it with the video. It's like seeing is like 1,000 words. So hopefully this will clear it up. And I will from now on try to define everything I can give you, okay? I'm not trying to confuse you. And if you'll bear with me, I will try to give you all the knowledge I know on how to do it. And sometimes when I think I have covered it all, it's good if you ask me questions. I mean, I'm open to it. If you're not sure, hey, I'm here to try to give you all the answers. And like I said, depending on settings too, how you're mounting the bird, you can vary that slightly. You know, when you got that perpendicular line going across, something could be a little forward, a little back, if need be. If you can just plug the legs in and then attach it to the base and it looks balanced and everything else, you can get away with that. Yeah, right there. You don't have to do anything. But sometimes you want to stagger them just to make it look like it's mounted correctly and not that it's the bird's on askew or something like that. So hang in there with me. I will try to clear things up. I am going to try on the next Q&A give you some tips on burning, and we'll go from there. So hang in there with me, and I'll try to take care of whatever errors I make along the way here and show you the ways out. Or if I dropped the ball and didn't give you information and took for granted I was going and thinking you had all the information, I didn't give it all to you. So again, I hope you got something out of it. If you did, I'd ask you to give me a thumbs up. I'm not trying to confuse you. And if you could subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate that too. That really helps. And we'll be marching on. I'm going to do probably one more Q&A. I don't know how long that's going to go, if I can cover it in a short period of time on wood burning. And I'm going to show you some techniques. And I'm going to also show you some of the flat art type as well, for those who would like to do some of that, besides the three-dimensional. So it comes with the territory. You're using a burning pen. The burning pens today are just great, and you could do a lot. And I'll show you a couple of different tips that allow you to do some real nice looking tricks with the burning pen. Okay, so see you on the next video. And again, if I'm not clear on the points, definitely get in touch with me. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye now.